Hi English 12, welcome to week 4. I just wanted to give you a couple of reminders about what is going to be happening this week. The first and most important is that this Friday, November 9th, is your lock deadline for weeks 1 through 3. So you need to make sure that everything from weeks 1, 2, and 3 about all the career stuff and the resume and cover letter and all that is in by this Friday at 11:59 p.m. in order for you to get credit for it. This week, we're continuing on with poetry. So we did that last week at the end of the week, or those of you who came to class last Monday got that assignment done in class. This Monday in class, we're going to be doing the William Blake media study. So we're carrying on with the same poet that we were discussing last week in class. And you guys are actually looking at the artistic elements that he utilized in his poetry. And we did touch on that briefly last week, but I said we would talk about it more this week. So if you come to class, we're actually going to complete the written portion of the media study assignment where we look at some of the art that he incorporated with his poetry and why he chose or made some of the artistic decisions that he made and whatnot. However, for coming to class, you do not get credit for the project portion of that, but I will discuss it in class. You can see them behind me here in the classroom, and so you can come up in class and you can check them out as well. But basically, on your own, you're selecting a poem that you like, and you are depicting it with an illustration and choosing the colors and things like that to portray the mood, tone of the poem, and utilize or creating a picture that helps to show the theme or the message of the poem. So hopefully you guys can come by and check those out. I have some other examples as well, and we'll look at some in class if you come to class, and I'll give you guys the rubric and how you'll be graded for that. So that's your first assignment for the week. That's Monday's assignment. Tuesday through Friday, you guys have 2 assignments, but I broke them up each over 2 days. So you're comparing poetry by the same author. He wrote My Last Duchess and Porphyria's Lover. So you're reading My Last Duchess on Tuesday. You'll read Porphyria's Lover on Wednesday. If you are having trouble with the poems and deciphering them and analyzing them, you can always check out some of the online things, like just type in the poem and type in like My Last Duchess analysis, and that might help you figure out the meaning if poetry is something you really struggle with. If you go to Shmoop as well and type in the name of the poem, a lot of times there's analysis on there about the themes, and that might be a good idea to read before you answer the questions. On Thursday, Friday, you guys are looking at actually 2 different authors. One wrote Sonnet 43 and one wrote Remembrance. And so these are both poems about love. And so you're kind of looking at the 2 different authors' portrayals of love and how they feel about it and how those feelings might be different from one another. So you're looking at a total of 4 different poems this week for your Tuesday through Friday assignment. Again, the Monday William Blake assignment is just kind of looking at some of the same poems we looked at last week, but we're looking at the artistic side of it. The project that I talked about that goes with the William Blake poetry, that's actually going to be due in week 5. So on your calendar, it says create your own poetry media, due week 5. So anytime next week, you can bring that in. Remember, next week, Monday, we don't have school. It's Veterans Day. So you want to make sure that you bring it on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday when you come in to check in with your homeroom teacher. I will be gone next week on Thursday. So I'll be here all this week, but next week on Thursday, I'll be gone. So if I'm gone and you bring it in, just leave it with the sub. This week for your extra credit, you are going to be watching the second video I post, but I'm not writing what the prompt is on there. So your prompt this week is to take a listen to the 5 different parts of life that the speaker is discussing in this video. And he's saying that these are the things that should not control your decision-making process. Which of those 5 things do you think are going to be the biggest struggle for you to not allow them to make the decisions for you? Take note that he says, all of these things are part of life. They're important in life, but they shouldn't be the things that are causing you to make decisions, either good or oftentimes bad, that we should really be focusing on ourselves and not these components of life that sometimes so many people allow to make decisions for them. So after you watch the video, I want you to talk about the one that you think is the biggest obstacle for you in overcoming, and what do you think you can do to overcome it, because you can and you're strong. So just remember to come and see me, especially if you need to make a plan to get those things in for weeks 1 through 3. I want to make sure that you're all passing because you're all seniors and you all need to graduate. So let's make sure that happens. All right. I hope you guys have a good week, and I hope you come by and see me. Bye.